All right, so now we have another level down. As I showed you earlier, I wet some stuff down, compacted it, blah, blah, blah. This is the second layer of doing that. I'm getting really close to my finished grade that the crushed stone will be at. And then from here is going to be 1 inch of sand. And then finally, my pavers. One thing we want to keep in mind that I really probably should have mentioned earlier is this stuff, this TB, whatever you're going to be using, keep it clean. You don't want, especially in my area of the country, clay or dirt getting in there. What will happen is, because of my environment, we get a lot of, once I hit past fall, freeze and thaw cycles. The clay or the soil, if I got that all kind of mixed up into here, would expand and throw everything out of kilter and off level. So we really do want to keep it pretty dry. Yeah, so I'm gonna do my next compacting, and then I'm gonna take some final measurement grades, shoot some last grades. One other way you can do this is if you have a board with a nice straight edge to it like this one is, I can lay it, because I know that that's level with this. Right here, that side, that point right there, it's going to be level with this point right here. So if I took a level and threw it on there, which we can do real fast, there's junk everywhere. Yeah, we're level. I know I'm level. So I can shoot measurements now across this entire field, from the bottom of this 2x6 to the top of the base. I should be at 3 to 3 1/4 inches. 3 inches because 1 inch of sand, 2 inches thickness of the brick. But if I stand a 1/4 inch proud of this particular spot right here, sorry, right here at the patio, if I'm standing a 1/4 inch proud of that, when I compact it, it'll compact level. That's my ultimate goal. Okay, here we go. So now we're continuing. I've gotten a little ahead of you guys with the fact that, excuse me, I had gone out and put some more brick in, and I didn't happen to have the camera, but I just kept working. So I've got a goodly amount, I don't know, almost half of it laid in. At this point, you can see what I'm doing is, okay, so we've learned about the TB, this is the base, and then we knew that we had to put sand on top of it, which is here, and I'm using a screed line, which is these pipes. I got what's called, this is PVC pipe, 3/4 ID, so 3/4 ID, that means it's an inner dimension. That means that the outside part of this pipe is 1 inch. 1 inch is the thickness I want for my sand bed to be for the block. And I will show you how to screed that off with the help of my lovely assistant, Mary, over there. Well, I'm showing her, too bad. Mary's over there. Rachel is at playground, so she's not with me at the moment. Let's just take a look here. I'm going to show you how to do this basket weave pattern. I've chosen basket weave pattern because it's easier, a lot less cutting to go, and it kind of fits the style of what I was doing earlier. When I showed you guys Cream City brick patterns and stuff, that's basket weave. So it's only natural that I match it up. I could have done herringbone, running bond, 45 degree or 90 degree herringbone. We could have done all kinds of stuff, but this is where we're at. This sand that's on top of my patio here is laid out here. I'm going to kick it around once in a while to kind of dry out, and as it dries out, I will sweep it so that it goes into the cracks, and then this becomes what is called dry locking. So there's no mortar or anything involved. So that's what I'm going to do. Mary's going to film for a second. I'll show you how I screed that off, and then I'll show you how to run a course or two of block. We ready?
Yep.
Okay, so this is my screen that's all set up. You can see that I've got my 1-inch set through the pipes, which I just showed you. Then I can kind of, what I'm doing is, this is 6 feet long. You can go a little shorter. It might be easier for you at first. I'm just sort of spacing out all my sand, going back and forth, and I'm making sure that I'm nice and level and that my sand has a good consistency to it. It's tight. So this is all I'm doing. I'm just kind of working it. As I go along now, this is about as far as I want to go, just a couple feet, because otherwise I can't really get at everything. So what I want to do then is pull these pipes back a little bit, and I don't have my trowel handy. I'll show you that in a minute. Then I'll just gently take some sand. I'll throw it alongside here, and then I'm going to take a trowel and I will fill that all in. I'll have to just level off a little bit right here. I'm going to show you that in just a second, and then I'll also show you how I'm going to start to set just a couple rows of block here, because then I have to also bring in an arch now of all the Cream City block. So it'll be just a second. Okay. Yeah, you can show me smoothing this out if you'd like.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, so this is, I'm just, oops. Like I said, this is where I'm just smoothing in the damage that I did by moving the pipes and so forth. This is just a regular standard mason's trowel. This one happens to be, I don't even know what the brand name is, and I'm not even gonna say it. So, I got this just at a hardware store for like $3. You don't need anything super expensive. All you're looking to do is just kind of keep it at a small angle, just like this, you see, and just run smooth over everything. Turns out, you can hear there's a compactor running in the background. My neighbors are getting a patio put in. It seems like everything I do, they do. One other thing you'll see here, this is my knee board. I can walk on the middle of the field here of my patio right now because I'm locked in on all the sides and it won't move. However, when I get close to an edge that's got an open face to it, where I don't have block, I don't want to kneel on this, I don't want to sit on this, I don't want to do any damage to it. So I'm going to disperse my weight by using this block, and then I know I'm good. I had stopped overnight. That's why this is kind of dried out a little bit. Might create a low spot, and I'll have to check that later. But as long as we're here, let's take a look real fast at setting a course or two. I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're going to need a rubber mallet. I would suggest considering a white one. The white one won't mar your block. The black one can scuff it, and I'll show you how that would happen generally. I'm just going to kind of set some block up. You can turn that off for a second. Alright, so we're getting a little bit farther. I've determined where the Cream City brick is going to be for my arch. I know I have some cutting to do, so I'm going to take care of that. These bricks absolutely have to be cut. There's my ribbon. This is going to be, actually this would be called a sailor course along the back. Now if they were set this way, going the long way, that's soldier course, sailor course. I ran out the rest of the sand because what I want to do now, in order to get this arch to blend well and to make sure that I have that pretty good to go, I'm going to run this out that way and over and fill in this area, and then I'll use my kneeler board again so that I can work the arch area. Otherwise it's too difficult. There's no way I can really get into here working this whole area with just TB and everything else all messed up in here. So I felt that in this particular case the best thing that I should do is run out the sand, run my stonework all out so that I can see where that is, make sure everything is square, and then if I have to fudge things or hide them, I can hide them and this little arch that's made of Cream City brick. Since that block is all irregular sized anyways, you really won't be able to tell. So we're looking pretty good so far. Alright, so it's moving along now. We have most of the red brick in, and the Cream City arch that I was talking about is pretty well in. That's spaced out, you know, kind of rough compared to the rest of the stuff, but that, like I said, is part of the look of that, because it is Cream City brick was all handmade, and you know, some of them are different sizes, and these are 100 years old, so I mean, they kind of are shaped a little bit differently, chipped here and there, yada yada yada. So I've cut in the best I can with them. The pattern is a little difficult to keep on because you'll run off a little bit here and there because of the size, but that's, you know, the look I was kind of going for. So I'm going to cut into that. One of the ways I can do that is take my present block, and you see this mark here where I know I want to continue from this, and then I want to terminate right there. This is going to be, this will be my cut. And then I had these other kind of neat block left over. Those are larger, but I wanted to incorporate those into my project. And then one other little thing that I had was at the end, what I did was I wanted to use some pavers too, Purington pavers, and King pavers, and Marion. I had all these old antique road pavers. So I blended these in to the very end of my patio. I kind of fudged things a little bit, and then this right here is going to step up to, this will be the floor of my shed for all my grills and smokers. So it's coming along, a little bit of cutting, then sand it all in, tamp it, and see what happens. Alright, so the patio is done for the most part. While I was compacting it and hosing it down to get it cleaned up, I got a bit of a low spot. You can see there's a puddle right there. So what I'll do is I will pull, I'll go around. I'll pull block out, brick out around that area. Excuse me, after this dries, I'll add some sand underneath there and raise it up. That'll take care of that problem. I just got to get rid of this pile of dirt. Otherwise, we're looking pretty good. Everything flushed out here real nice. However, the grade that was on this lawn between my raised beds here, it's definitely a problem. It's way tall. I was way proud of, way higher than it should be. You can see it's above my foot. A couple different ways I can go about that. I was thinking of maybe using some of this cobblestone here. Oh, that's heavy. And putting it in, making kind of a step up. But I think ultimately what I'm going to do is, because this looks like a jungle of grass in here anyways, is I'll just rip all that out and then slowly taper it down into here. You'll never know the difference. Well, you will, because I told you, but nobody else will. It's a secret. So all in all, I think this was pretty successful. I'm quite happy with it. Kind of used some keystones, like I said. These are, I don't even know what these, Evans and Howard from St. Louis. Doesn't make me a Cardinals fan or anything, sorry. Here we go. This is it. What I'm going to do next is I will bring out like the patio furniture. There's a table around here somewhere. It's over there. And then around this fire pit, which has been just kind of a catch-all of garbage for me, I'm going to use some of this flagstone and I'll put it all around, so it goes all around in this area here. And then we can set chairs around the fire pit, and then I can also, if I want, put get some, what is it, lodge camping cookware stuff, fire cookware, blah blah blah. I can't think of the right term for whatever, but I can set that on top of this really thick lantern stone. I got a piece over here I was going to use for it. This thing is huge. That's like 3 inches thick, so that'll be fine for the heat that would create. But this is the at least the initial phases of the patio. I hope you guys have learned something along with me. I definitely have. Learned don't do a low spot. But other than that, if you guys have questions or anything, please feel free to put them, you know, down below in that comment box or whatever, or email me, message me, whatever. Watch for this shed video coming up soon. Maybe I'll do something about placing flagstone. Maybe do something about grading that fire pit over there. God, I got a lot to do. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you soon. Alright, so patio furniture is up. The shed is in progress. Right over there with the grills in it and stuff. I gotta get doors for it. Moved some things around. Basically, with this project, we kind of doubled the patio area. So that's working out pretty good. Really, a real nice project. So this will be the home of all my grills and smokers and stuff. See what happens. We got some more work to do. Cobblestone's in good, flagstone. I have to get rid of all that dirt that's in those piles, some garbage, and then start thinning out my garden a little bit. So there we go. That's the patio project.